because as a Clippers coach, Ty Lue was 11-0 against the Lakers, believe it or not. Wow. Keyshawn Johnson, you grew up a Lakers fan right here in the L.A. area. What was the biggest reason the Lakers won last night?
I mean, it's easy to say. It's LeBron James. And then Austin Reaves cooking in overtime, you know, putting in some buckets. But it's LeBron, man. The Lakers go as far as LeBron is going to take them. I know we want to push Anthony Davis in front of LeBron, but right now that's not the case, although both had double-doubles last night. AD played well. There's no question about it. But LeBron, is something about not only his basketball IQ, but when he wants to do something, you just go back to breaking Kareem's record last year, Skip. As you know, he went on a tear to get to that record.
From December 30th, his birthday, through February 7th.
You mentioned 11 straight losses to the Clips, okay?
Yep.
At some point, that had to stop, and LeBron James knew it had to stop. They just brought in James Harden and PJ Tucker. Tuck played, but Harden didn't last night. LeBron knows that. He understands that. So one of the things that we could not afford to do was lose to the Clippers in this situation at home, 11 straight losses. We need to stay on top because, as I said to you and Richard Sherman the other day, it's not about 2 or 3 teams. It's about the Western Conference. When you look at the Golden State Warriors team sitting at 4-1, taking care of the Kings last night. Then you talk about what can the Mavs be? What are the Suns? Okay, you start looking at Denver. We got to stay right there. We don't want to be in no play-in tournaments and all that sort of stuff, hoping and praying at the end of the day. Many people have been complaining about, not necessarily complaining, but raising the question about LeBron's minutes. Why is he playing so many minutes so early in the season? Well, we want to compile these W's. Then we can worry about resting him up and then hitting strong toward the end of the season and into the playoffs. So it's all about LeBron, man. That's the reason we won that game last night.
And for me, it was interesting to watch because I was flying in, of course, into the World Series and then this game. And I'm going to tell you, I'm thinking when I'm watching, when Kawhi Leonard came out to L.A., and remember all those commercials he had? He's taking over L.A. and all of that. We never really saw that battle. Last night was really the first time we saw that battle.
I could make that case.
You know what I'm saying? That was the first time, and that was a game. Now, to watch that kind of talent on the floor at the same time here in L.A. was incredible. And each one of those dudes, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, those 4 stars showed up to play. And then Russell Westbrook said, wait, what about me? I'm in here too. Let me get something going. It was phenomenal. You know what I thought about also, guys, because we've had that conversation here? I thought about what LeBron looked like last night compared to what he looked like in that Denver series at the end of those games, when he was trying to drive and make that layup. And then how he caught that alley-oop late in the game, and how fresh he is. And I thought to myself, I'm so tired of hearing everybody talk about trying to control and manage sports. Are you joking? You come in with a plan. We only want to play them this much. We only want to do it. Down in Dallas, Mike McCarthy, we're going to play complimentary football. You can't manage sports. Like, you can have a plan, but sports, that's why we're so caught up in it, because you can't predict it, and you have to win the games. Like he said, you have to win the game, especially for the Lakers, because you're trying to find your identity right now. Early on, it's important to find your identity. More important than resting LeBron, we got to figure out the direction that team is headed in.
Okay, back to Keyshawn's points, and I liked all of yours, Michael.
You didn't like mine?
I'm going to respond to your points. LeBron James, through 5 games, even though this team is only 3-2, has been playing at a very high level for his age and stage of his career. He's also playing extremely high minutes when there was supposed to be some plan, as you're pointing out, in place about minutes restrictions early on that you would gradually build up through the season. LeBron James has now played the 7th most minutes in the entire NBA.
You can't play.
I'm not sure how smart that is going forward, but to your point, you have actually needed him in stretches to get you home in these games.
43 minutes last night.
Yeah, boy, it's incredible. Okay, so here's the point. LeBron has also been playing at a very high level late in games in ways he did not last year, because I pointed out to you and I have detailed to you how they had at least 12 games last year that he should have closed and they failed to close. Sometimes it was his fault. Sometimes it was Schroeder's fault or whoever else.
And that'll happen again this year, man.
Okay.
It's a long season.
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet because he is now in the fourth quarter and overtime, 24 of 34 from the floor. That's 71%. That's outstanding. He's 5 of 11 from 3, fourth quarter and overtime. That's outstanding. Just last year, in fourth quarters and overtimes for the whole regular season and playoffs, he was sub 50% from the floor. He's only 46%, and from 3, he was 27% in fourth quarters and overtime. So he basically stunk last year later in games. And you know what happened against Denver in those 4 games in the conference finals. In the fourth quarters of the 4 games, he was 7 of 23 from the floor and 1 of 10 from 3. Well, he seems to have flipped the switch on that and flipped it on its head, because I'm impressed with the way he's playing late in games. But why did I pick the Lakers before the year started? I told you it is time to have
we don't want you to pick
a big 3. It is time to have an Austin Reaves rise into at least being a half a star, maybe not a full star, but a half a star alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis, because LeBron loves this kid. He respects this kid. He buys into this kid. And I want to show you, after what this kid did finally last night in overtime, if you could see what LeBron did, sort of photobombing, interrupting his on-court interview, and what LeBron yelled in Austin Reaves' ear, check this out. Okay, so to me, that was significant. There was some passing of torch there. He was telling him in sideline huddles, go win the game. And so he was reminding everybody after the fact, I was yelling in his ear, go win the freaking game. And in overtime, Austin Reaves finally lived up to his new contract. I think it's been a weight on his shoulders. I think this is all new to him. The spotlight, the focus, the contract, all of the preseason publicity that he got, he has arrived. And it was he was not living up until the overtime last night, when he flat out took the game over. His energy, his playmaking. If we could see what happened, this is a play made with 2:16 left where he stole, I think you mentioned it, Michael, but he stole the ball from Kawhi, and then he ends up with the lob dunk to LeBron. This is really the play of the night, where he steals it, and then he's off to the races, and he, over the shoulder. Okay, LeBron trusts the kid because he's got high basketball IQ, and he doesn't choke in big moments late in games. Remember, against Denver in the 4 fourth quarters last year, he made 8 of 10 shots and 7 of 8 from 3. So I like the mix of him and LeBron closing the game, because they work together, because LeBron buys into the kid. It's hard to impress LeBron. It's hard to win him over, because he got the highest IQ in basketball, maybe in the history of basketball. And he believes in this kid. So to me, that was a significant. It was a development where LeBron's yelling at him after the game, I'm telling you, go win the game, and you did. Way to go.
It's LeBron. And me, in my heart, I would like to think, you got the coaches in you somewhere, you know what I mean? And that, to me, right there, that was big right there. There are a lot of guys that wouldn't do that. LeBron understands the significance of that, and he's telling that kid, you belong here. You belong on this stage. And I'm going to tell you something. When LeBron says it, I guarantee you, even though he plays with LeBron, just like Skip messing around, just like Keith's talking about Skip, he got a million texts from everybody saying, boy, LeBron said you the man. That kind of stuff carries confidence. And I'm telling you, it's brilliant. For LeBron knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he has long season, and he needs to make sure this kid is in the right place.
A super long season. And you go back
it's brilliant. It's brilliant leadership.
You go back to last year's playoffs, he was not ready to take those shots. And as long as I got LeBron James on the floor, LeBron James is going to be the closer. And now if there's an opportunity, like it was last night for Austin Reaves, you allow him to try and make those shots. But if that opportunity isn't there, you don't force it like you would force it to LeBron. You want LeBron to certainly have some leadership skills and get people to buy in, because it is a long season. Okay, they got a lot of games to go. So when you start talking about the way LeBron shoots the ball in the fourth quarter, that's why I said to you, Skip, yeah, you can point to 12 games throughout last year that shots were missed for a number of reasons. That's going to happen again this year. There's a long season. It's going to happen.
Many times.
I can point to many teams, including the great start that the Boston Celtics are on right now, and Porzingis, and what they blew them out by 51 last night. I can go 2 months from now, and I can pick games out that the Boston Celtics in the fourth quarter should have done this, should have done that. Oh, my God, Tatum missed a shot. It's easy to do. I'm not worried about it. My worry is that strategy and that plan that Michael Irvin talked about, is it adjustable? Yes, it is. And what I mean by that is right now what we're seeing is like, oh, my God, LeBron's averaging 25 points a game. He's doing this. He's still doing that. There's a lot of minutes. As the season goes on, you tail those minutes back. You want to make sure you got enough wins to not be sitting in the 8th and the 9th and the 10th seed at the end of the year where you're going, oh, we going to make it? Oh, you got to win this game or get in the play-in. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to stock them wins up and put them on a pile, and then you start worrying about rest. Then you can manage it a certain way.
Right. And let me just tell you, man, I sat there and thought, when I saw LeBron do it, do you think Jordan would have ever done that on national TV?
No.
Walked by somebody and told him, take the shot, be the man.
Even though there were two moments that it closed out finals, John Paxson took a shot and Steve Kerr took a shot.
Right.
And he told Steve Kerr in the sideline huddle, they're going to double me. Stockton's going to come to me where Karl Malone was, and I'm going to give it right to you, and you're going to make this shot. But that was just one time. He's talking about Austin Reaves taking the game over.
Right.
Raising
them up. Coming up, man, playing every week. I just love it, man. I watch it. LeBron has all these different handshakes with everybody. I find that fascinating. Fascinating to be that guy at that level, but making sure he pulls everybody up. It does remind me a lot of Tom Brady and the things that he did.
It would have been interesting to see what they look like, the Clippers, with Harden on the floor, even though it would have been his first night. It would have been interesting to see. No, it would have been interesting to see what it looked like.
Let me tell you my thought watching.
D-Russ played well too. Let's not just gloss over his performance.
Let me tell you my thoughts watching, and I just gotta say, I was like, how is James just sitting there like he ain't, like, I'm just here. I hadn't done anything all year. I ain't been causing all kinds of problems. I'm just here. That was amazing. The NBA guys, they just show up, sit right there. Like all of that problem didn't go on in Philly, and I'm just been a good guy. Can't wait to get on the basketball court. It's just funny to me. It looks funny to me.
Different sport, Michael.
It's a different sport. It's a different sport.
So, Keyshawn, the reason LeBron needed to play higher minutes last night is obviously they didn't have Hachimura. They did not have Gabe Vincent. They did not have Taurean Prince, who was a late scratch. They haven't had Jared Vanderbilt, best name in all of sports.
And they only played
they haven't had him all year.
They only went 8 deep last night.
Okay, so he needed to play high minutes. My point is, when you've played the 7th most minutes through 5 games, I'm going to knock on wood before I even say this because I hate to even bring it up. When you're going on 39, you're just susceptible to pull this or pull that.
You think that's the case.
Well, it's happened the last 3 years.
Different.
Something's happened. Well, I used to think he was different, and now he's human. He used to be Iron Man, and now he's got this, and he's got that.
He missed a few games.
He did.
Yay. He missed a few games. He's still averaging 25 points, as I told you. He is slightly under last year, where he was averaging 28. Slightly. It's the same.
So now, before we let this go, I got to get Keyshawn's reaction to the last play of regulation, because it is my pet peeve about LeBron, because he is the greatest driver of the basketball I've ever seen. Nobody can freight train like LeBron James. He's a shaky late-game free throw shooter, and he only made 5 out of 10 last night, which is not good enough, obviously, for a player of this stature. But the point is, let's watch the last sequence, because the game is tied at the end of regulation. You just need 1 point. You don't need 3. You need 1. And here's LeBron. He brings the ball up the floor, and all of a sudden he whips it to Christian Wood, I believe, in the corner. And back to D'Lo, and D'Lo has to go up and under and take the shot. Okay, this is just me. Why wouldn't AD just come to the top of the circle and pick for LeBron, and they just go pick and roll? And LeBron puts his head down and drives it to the basket, and if you can get to the basket, you get fouled and get to the free throw line.
Because at the top of the point, at the top of the key on the left-hand side, they're waiting for him to do that. He's going to slide. The guys that's on him now, who I can't see, I think that's Westbrook. Westbrook is going to close him off. So LeBron already knows that when he put the ball in his hand. If he goes to the right there, Westbrook's going to slide to him, and PJ Tucker closes on him. Now he can roll to Anthony Davis. He get the ball to Anthony Davis at that point, but the minutes are they're coming down. You only got a few minutes. You can't do all that in a short
You have to force the
period of
action.
time.
Did anybody come pick for him? Was AD out there?
Yes,
I don't get it.
AD picked at the top.
Okay, but you
if
need to go
LeBron
get it.
goes
You
to
need
the
to go
right,
pick it up.
if he goes to the right
Gotta
and
force the
tries to
action.
drive,
Yeah.
they gonna close down on him. Now
Okay.
maybe you be able to give it to AD in the key, but by then the minutes is down. You got a clear path by dishing and making the right play when you believe that D. Russ is hot. He's
Okay.
knocking shots down all night long. I think he was 4 of 7 from 3.
Okay, but he
maybe
didn't-
slightly off.
He didn't pass it to D'Lo. He passed it to Christian Wood.
Yeah, and Christian Woods kicked it to D'Lo.
I know, but who knew that wasn't the play called?
I don't know if that was a play called or not. I don't know.
It just was.
I don't know.
No.
But
I don't
let me
know.
ask
You
this to
think it wasn't?
But let me ask this: do you think that has anything to do? We talk so much about his restrictions of minutes and his health. Do you think even in that situation, LeBron's thinking this early in the season, I drive, I may get hurt, I miss a free throw, there are more. You see what I'm saying? You don't think any of that
Yeah, but
plays in
Skip
these decisions?
Skip is alluding to the fact that he's scared to go to the free throw line. This is not Ben Simmons, man.
Okay.
This ain't Ben Simmons.
It's close.
Oh, come on, Skip, stop, man.
Okay, but since he came into the
Don't-
league, nobody's missed more late
I don't want you.
free throws.
I do not want you rooting for the Lakers. Just take it back,
I'm just
man.
saying,
Go with Skip.
if you are the
Skip said
leading
close.
scorer in the history of the game,
I understand all of that.
I want the ball in your hands till death do us part.
I
Down the
understand
stretch,
that.
You
I
need
get
to-
it.
You need to get to the
That's
rim.
what you
I wouldn't
want.
have been shocked if he would power to the rim and just bank it in to win the game.
No, because if he'd have powered to the rim and missed, you had something to say then. Oh, why didn't he
Now you're
pass the
thinking
ball?
negatively. I'm
Why
thinking
didn't he pass
positively.
the ball?
I told
Why?
you he's been playing at a high level late in games.
Yeah,
Go,
you
go,
were-
go, go.
You did
I don't need you
start
to
off.
kick it to Christian Wood.
You did start
What?
off positive, but
Okay.
then you trying to end on a negative note
I'm just
with your
telling you.
little clip at the end of a game.
I was just dumbfounded because, again, sometimes you say, oh, he made the right play. Well, was that the right play to kick it to Christian Wood in the deep corner?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kick it to
Where's that
Christian
going?
Wood. They gonna close on him. He kicks it back out to D-Russ. A guy who's been hot tonight can knock it down. What are you talking about, Skip?
try
I'm
to
talking about LeBron bleeping James is who I'm talking about. Drive the bleeping basketball. I don't get it.
A win is a win is a win, no matter how you got it.
It worked out.
Skip wants LeBron to be like Jordan and
Yeah,
taking that last
just go.
shot all the time.
You think,
And that's
can
why
you
I
imagine
said,
Jordan kicking it to Christian Wood in the deep corner?
right,
No.
that's what I'm saying. It's just
Yeah,
it's
but
just
that's
not who he
Jordan.
is.
That's
It's not
Jordan's
who he is.
mentality. He wanted to take every shot.
Thank you.
He wanted the hot dog at every moment.
Assassin.
That's not LeBron's attitude. He shoots when he needs to.
Oh.
And he's still dropping buckets.
Wait. I can't have you calling Jordan hot dog. He wanted the hot dog. He just believed he was the
No, it's a
best
hot
way
dog.
to get the victory.
No, hot dog. That's a hot dog to me. That's not a bad thing. I was a hot dog. I wore a single digit. That's a hot dog number.
Right, but okay.
Single
okay,
digits are hot dog numbers.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Them are hot dog
I
numbers.
thought you were 19.
No, in college and stuff. Hot dog numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
If I could wear 3 at the time, I would have wore 3, but they would only let me wear 19, so I had to put them together.
I personally prefer 88. That's just me. I want 88
It
on
was
my
good
team.
for him.
8 and 8.
I wouldn't have looked good in an 88. That just didn't fit my personality.
yeah.
It didn't fit my
Well,
personality.
our 88 looks good in 88 right now. And I was
Oh,
good
let's
seeing
not
that.
start that again.
He looks great, as a matter of fact.
So y'all, so you didn't need to make any moves then.
I'm just saying.
You didn't need to make. Are you now going down a skip road?
No,
Are you telling me, Michael Irvin? Are you telling me that they didn't need to make any receiver moves at all, even though they reached out about a number of receivers? Are you telling me that? I'm just trying to ask a question.
We were talking about.
No, you brought up 88. I didn't bring up 88.
I brought it up.
Right. We were talking about Lakers, brought up 88, and that's all.
You said even though the 88 right now is, ooh, I'm just asking you,
was just
did y'all need to get another receiver? That's all I want to know.
Okay. Up next, we're going to get serious.
We got it.
because we
I
lost,
am serious.
We lost a great one yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
How will you remember Bob Knight?
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.